The observation station trembled. A sound came from everywhere at once. It was loud and sharp, like someone screaming in a language that only machines understood. Dr. Jiwon looked up from her work table. Around her, the lights turned red. Everything turned red. She was not alone. The station held 300 people. Some were scientists like her. Some were engineers. Some worked in the gardens where they grew food. Others fixed broken things. Now all 300 people heard the same sound. The same alarm. The same fear. Jiwon's heart moved fast inside her chest. Very fast. She had 3 hearts, like all her kind, the Krell. The Krell were not human. They were tall and thin. Their skin could change colors when they felt strong emotions. Right now, Jiwon's skin was bright yellow. Bright yellow meant something was very wrong. She ran to the main control room. The room was large and round. The walls showed pictures of space. On one big screen, red words appeared. The words were in every language that the station used. The word said, "Aggressive creature incoming. Threat level critical." Jiwon had worked at this station for 10 years. In those 10 years, this alarm had only sounded 17 times. Each time it was true. Each time, a dangerous animal came to the station. Each time, people had to fight to stay alive. Some people did not stay alive, but something was different this time. Captain Teo came into the control room very fast. His skin was also changing colors. His skin was turning dark blue. Dark blue meant he was ready to fight. Dark blue meant he would protect his people. Captain Teo was very old. He had been the captain of this station for many years. The people trusted him. They knew he would keep them safe. "Seal everything," he said to the people working. His voice was sharp and clear. "Lock all the doors. No one goes outside. Move everyone to the safe rooms. Now." The people moved very fast. They were scared. They pushed buttons and talked into machines that would carry their voices far away. Doors started to close with sounds like metal breathing. The station was becoming a fortress. Jiwon watched the screen. She watched the shape of the coming creature. It was small, not very big. That was strange. Most creatures that made this alarm were very large and very strong. This one was only about the size of a young Krell. The creature had 2 legs, 2 arms. It was standing on 2 legs. This shape was strange to the Krell. Most dangerous creatures had 4 legs or 8 legs or many legs. Having just 2 legs meant the creature should not be good at anything. It should fall down easily. But the sensors said it was dangerous. The sensors never lied. "Captain," Jiwon said. She made her voice sound calm, even though she did not feel calm. "The creature is moving in a way I have never seen before." Captain Teo looked at the screen. On the screen, the creature was moving its right arm. It was moving it in a long, smooth circle. Then it moved its left arm in the same way. Then it moved a leg. Then it stopped moving for a moment. "That is aggressive action," said Commander Min Seok. He worked with weapons and safety. "The creature is preparing to attack. It is moving its muscles to get ready for a fight." But Jiwon was not sure. Her job was to study how living things worked. She had read many books about many different creatures from many different worlds. She had seen how creatures moved when they wanted to fight. This did not look like a fight. This looked like something else. The creature did the movement again. Right arm, left arm, a leg. Then it stood still again. It repeated the movement many times. Very many times. "Captain," Jiwon said, "maybe we should wait. Maybe we should try to understand this creature before we—" "No," Captain Teo said. He was looking at the screen with eyes that looked cold and hard. "The sensors have kept us alive for 300 years. We have found 17 creatures that wanted to hurt us. The sensors found all 17. I will not take a chance with 300 lives on this station." He pushed a button. His voice went out to everyone in the station. "Lock down Docking Bay 3, he said. The creature will come through there. Fill the docking bay with paralytic gas. We will put the creature to sleep. When it is sleeping, we can study it. When we understand what it is, then we can decide what to do. Jiwon felt her skin change color too. Her skin became orange. Orange meant she did not agree with this choice. But she was not the captain. She could not change his mind. The station was ready now. All the doors were locked. All the safety systems were turned on. The scientists were in the safe rooms. The children were in the safe rooms. Only the soldiers and the people who worked in the control room stayed where they were. The creature came closer and closer. On the screen, numbers showed how far away the creature was. The numbers got smaller. 1,000 meters, 500 meters, 100 meters. Then the creature reached the docking bay. The docking bay doors opened. The creature came inside. The doors closed behind it. Gas came into the docking bay. Gas that was made to put creatures to sleep. The creature looked very confused. The creature began to move its arms. It began to touch its face. Then something happened that no one expected. The creature did not fall down. The creature kept standing. The creature took a step forward. Then the creature took another step forward. "Impossible," said Commander Min Seok. "The gas should have put it to sleep. The gas should have made it fall down." But the creature was still moving. Still walking. Still breathing. And then the creature did something that made everyone in the control room go very quiet. The creature put both its hands together. It held them together in front of its face. It made a noise that sounded like it could not breathe well. The creature was coughing. The creature was walking toward the second set of doors. The doors that led inside the station. Captain Teo put his hand on a red button. "When that creature comes through those doors," he said, "we will do everything we can to stop it." The doors began to open, and the creature walked through. The alarm was still singing. Red lights were still everywhere. And no one at the station knew that in just a few days, this creature would change everything about how they saw themselves and their place in the universe. No one knew yet, but they would learn. Very soon, they would learn. The creature walked into the station with a body that was not moving right. The paralytic gas had done something to its muscles. Its movement was slow. It was like watching something that was tired and hurt at the same time. The creature's skin was a pale color, not blue, not green, not any color that Jiwon had ever seen on a living thing. The creature had dark lines on its face, lines that might have been made by the sun, or by time, or by something else. The creature raised its two front limbs up toward its face. It was trying to clear away the gas that it had breathed. Its mouth was opening and closing, opening and closing. It was hard to watch. It looked like the creature was having trouble breathing. Captain Teo was standing behind thick glass. The glass would protect him if the creature tried to attack. Behind him stood soldiers. They held tools that could send electricity through the air. They held tools that could make heat. They held tools that could hurt. The creature looked at Captain Teo. The creature opened its mouth, and the creature spoke. "Please," the creature said. The word came through a small box that translated it into Krell language. "Please do not shoot." Everyone in the room stopped moving. The creature could speak. The creature could use words. The creature said, "I mean no harm. I came here to help you." Commander Min Seok looked at Captain Teo. They did not speak with their mouths. They spoke with their eyes. Their eyes asked the same question that everyone was thinking. How could this creature talk? "What are you?" Captain Teo asked. His voice was still hard, but it was also confused now. "My name is Q-Min," said the creature. "I am human. I come from the world called Earth. It is very far away from here." Jiwon moved closer. She could not stop herself. Her job was to understand living things. This was the most strange living thing she had ever seen. "How can you speak our language?" Jiwon asked. "How can you understand our words?" The creature called Q-Min looked at Jiwon. The creature's face changed shape. The skin around its mouth moved up at the corners. This was very strange. "I studied your broadcasts," Q-Min said. "For 2 years, I studied how your people talk, how your people think. I knew I had to come to this station. I knew I had to help you." "Help us with what?" Captain Teo asked. Q-Min took a moment. He was breathing slowly now. The gas was not hurting him as much. He was becoming stronger. His body was moving better. "There is a star system," Q-Min said. "You call it the Tertius system. In that system there is a sun, and in that sun something is happening. Something very bad is happening." Ji-won felt her skin change color again. This time it became a lighter orange. Orange meant she was starting to become interested. "What is happening?" she asked. "A solar flare cascade," said Q-Min. "The sun is becoming unstable. In about 72 hours, maybe a little bit less, the sun will release a huge amount of energy. The energy will travel through space, and when that energy reaches this station, it will break everything." Commander Min Seok made a sound that meant he did not believe this. "Our sensors have not found anything like this," Commander Min Seok said. "Our machines can see far into space. Our machines can find danger. And our machines have not found any danger in the Tertius system." "Your machines are very good," said Q-Min. "But they are looking for something different. They are looking for danger that moves fast and wants to hurt things. They are not looking for danger that moves slowly and quietly. They are not looking for danger that hides inside something that looks normal." The creature's skin on its face was becoming a little bit red now, maybe from the gas, maybe from something else. "My people," Q-Min continued, "we have a different way of seeing. My people do not use machines as much. My people feel the world with our bodies. We feel how things move. We feel how gravity pushes and pulls. When I was 8 days away from this station, I felt the sun in the Tertius system. I felt it was broken. I felt it was dying, and I came here as fast as I could." Captain Teo was still not sure. He looked at Ji-won. "Put him in a holding room," Captain Teo said. "We will check his words. If he is telling the truth, we will know soon. If he is lying, we will know that too." The soldiers brought Q-Min to a small room. The room had walls that were very strong. The walls would not let him escape. The walls would not let him hurt anyone. They gave him water because that was what the creature seemed to need. Then the captain went to the big computer room. Ji-won went with him. They were with a woman named Haina. Haina was very smart. She understood how stars and space worked. "Check the Tertius system," Captain Teo said. "Check it very carefully. Look for anything that might be wrong with the sun." Haina began to work. Her fingers moved very fast on the keyboard. Numbers appeared on the screen. Pictures appeared on the screen. Pictures of the sun. Pictures of the energy that moved around the sun. Minutes passed. Then an hour passed. Then Haina made a sound. It was a sound of surprise. "The creature was correct," she said. Her skin became very light, very pale, very scared. "There is something happening in the Tertius system. The sun is releasing energy in a pattern that I have never seen before. If the pattern continues, in about 68 hours the energy will reach us. And our shields—" She stopped talking. "What?" asked Captain Teo. "Say the rest." "Our shields will not be able to stop it," said Haina. "The energy is too much. The pattern is too strange. Our shields are made for normal things. They are not made for this." Ji-won felt all 3 of her hearts move very fast now. "We need to talk to that creature again," she said. "We need to understand what it knows." They went back to the holding room. Q-Min was sitting on the floor. The creature looked tired, very tired, but the creature also looked like it had been waiting for them, like it knew they would come back. "You were telling the truth," Ji-won said. "The solar flare is real. It is coming here." Yes, said Q-Min, and I can help you. I can help you survive it. How? Asked Captain Teo. If even our machines cannot see it clearly, how can you help? Q-Min stood up. The creature was stronger now. The gas had left his body. He could move like before. Because my people think different than your people think, Q-Min said. My people can see things that machines cannot see. My people can feel things that machines cannot feel. My people can make changes that machines say are impossible. But sometimes the impossible is the only thing that works. Captain Tayo and Ji-Wan looked at each other. They did not know if they could trust this creature, but they also did not have a choice. The clock was moving. The time was running out, and in 68 hours, the sun would try to kill them all. For many hours, the Krell did not believe Q-Min. Captain Teo kept him locked in the holding room. The captain wanted to be certain. The captain wanted to be sure that the creature was not lying, but every time Hai-Na checked the numbers again, the numbers told the same story. The sun was breaking, the sun was dying, and they had less time than before. By the end of 6 hours, Captain Teo made a decision. He brought Q-Min out of the holding room. He brought him to the main control room. All the most important people were there. The people who made big decisions. The people who would help save the station. "Tell us what to do," said Captain Teo. Q-Min looked at the big screens. He looked at the numbers. He looked at the pictures of the sun that was breaking. "Your shields are good," said Q-Min, "but they are made for one thing. They are made for attacks that come from one direction. They are made for danger that you can see. The solar flare is different. The solar flare will come from many directions, and the pattern of the flare will change as it gets closer." "We can see that," said Hai-Na. She was looking at the numbers. She was looking at the pictures. "We know the pattern is strange." "The pattern is strange because the sun has 3 broken parts," said Q-Min. 3 parts of the sun are breaking in different ways. Each part will send energy at a different time. Each part will send energy in a different shape. Your shields must change shape to meet each wave. Commander Minseok was the person who worked with weapons. He was the person who worked with shields. "We can change the shields," said Commander Minseok. "But it takes time. It takes time to move power from one shield to another shield. If the flare changes faster than we can change, we will not be ready." "That is true," said Q-Min. "So you must begin now, and you must change the shields not just at the moment before the flare arrives. You must change them now. You must start preparing before the flare becomes visible." "But the flare is not visible yet," said Hai-Na. "The sun is still too far away. Our machines cannot see what the flare will do for another 20 hours. "I can see it," said Q-Min. "My people have a way of seeing that is different. We see the shape of the energy before it becomes real. We feel the pull of gravity as it moves. We understand how space is bent around this flare. And I can tell you what will happen. I can tell you what to change. And I can tell you now, so you have time to be ready." Ji-Wan was listening very carefully. She was writing down everything that Q-Min said. She wanted to understand how this creature thought. She wanted to understand how this creature could see things that Krell machines could not see. "Tell us," Ji-Wan said. "Tell us how your people see things this way." Q-Min looked at her. The creature's face changed again. The corners of its mouth went up again. This was the expression that meant the creature was not afraid. "My world is very different from your world," said Q-Min. "My world has 3 suns. My world has 2 moons. My world has weather that is very hard to predict. My world has gravity that is not the same everywhere. On my world, you cannot plan everything. On my world, you must feel what is happening around you. You must know how to change your plans very fast. You must know how to do things that seem impossible because they are the only things that work." "But that sounds inefficient," said Commander Minseok. "That sounds like a bad way to run things." "It is inefficient for normal things," said Q-Min. "But for strange things, for new things, for dangerous things that you have never seen before. It is very efficient. My people have learned to think in ways that are not normal. My people have learned to make solutions that do not follow the rules. And sometimes the solutions that break the rules are the only solutions that work." The Krell looked at each other. They did not understand this way of thinking. The Krell had rules. The rules kept them safe. The rules made things organized. The rules made things work the same way every time. But Cumin was saying that sometimes the rules were not enough. "How do we know we can trust you?" asked Captain Tayo. "You do not know," said Cumin. "You can only choose to trust me or choose not to trust me. If you choose not to trust me, then in 61 hours the flare will arrive, and your station will break, and your people will die. If you choose to trust me, then maybe your station will survive. Maybe your people will live." The room was very quiet. "Start the work," said Captain Teo. "Begin moving power to the shields. Begin changing the shield patterns. And Cumin will tell us where to move the power. Cumin will tell us how to change the patterns." For the next 50 hours, Cumin and the Krell engineers worked together. Cumin would stand and look at the space around the station. He would close his eyes. He would put his hand on his body in places where hearts were beating. And then he would say things like, "The second wave will come from the side. Move power to the southern shields. Move it now, not later." And the Krell engineers would move the power. And then, 20 hours later, the second wave would come from the side. Just like Cumin said. The Krell were amazed. They were surprised. They did not understand how Cumin could know these things. But they began to believe. They began to understand that thinking in different ways could find answers that normal thinking could not find. Ji-Wan worked very close to Cumin during these 50 hours. She watched how the creature moved. She watched how the creature thought. She watched how the creature made decisions. And she began to see that the Krell way was not the only way. There were other ways to see the universe. And sometimes the other ways were better. When the flare came at last, the shields would hold. But Ji-Wan did not know this yet. She only knew that she was beginning to understand something very important about her own people. The Krell were not the smartest beings in the universe. The Krell were just the smartest at one thing. And that one thing was not enough to survive everything. The solar flare came like a wall of fire that moved faster than anything should move. It came like a storm from a world that had no mercy. The sensors screamed. The alarms sang. But this time, the alarms were not singing about danger that was coming. This time, the alarms were singing because the danger was here. The shields of the station were ready. The engineers had moved power to the southern shields, just like Cumin said. The shields were strong on one side, strong on another side, strong in places where shields usually were not strong. The first wave of energy hit. The station shook like an animal that was being attacked. But the shields held. People in the safe rooms looked at each other with eyes that were very wide. The station had been hit by the sun's power, and the station was still here, still working, still alive. "The second wave comes soon," said Cumin. He was standing in the control room with Captain Teo. The creature was very tired now. His skin was pale, paler than before, but his eyes were still moving, still watching, still feeling. "How soon?" asked Haina. She was watching the numbers on the screens. 43 seconds, said Cumin. "Our machines say 60 seconds, said Commander Min-Seok. "Your machines will be wrong," said Cumin. "Your machines are looking at the sun. I am feeling the space between here and the sun. The space tells me when the wave will arrive." They waited. 43 seconds. The second wave hit. The station shook again, harder this time. Lights on the walls began to break. They made sounds like things dying. But the shields held. The shields were strong where Cumin said they would need to be strong. "The third wave," said Cumin, "will be different. The third wave will come from the side and the top at the same time. You must spread the shields thin. You must make the shields cover more space, but with less power in each place. It will feel wrong. Your machines will say this is a mistake, but it is not a mistake." Commander Minseok looked at the numbers on the screen. "If we spread the shields thin," he said, "then the shields in the center will have almost no power. If the third wave hits the center will break." "I know," said Cumin, "but the third wave will not hit the center. The third wave will hit the sides and the top. If you make the shield strong in the center, then the sides and top will have no protection. You must choose, and I am telling you to choose the sides and the top." Captain Teo looked at his engineers. His engineers looked back at him. They did not like this plan. The plan did not make sense. The plan did not follow the rules that kept them safe. But they had seen that Cumin was right before. 2 times before, Cumin had been right. "Do it," said Captain Teo. "Move the power. Make the shields thin. Prepare for the side and the top." The engineers worked very fast. Lights changed on the screens. Numbers changed. The shields of the station became a new shape, a shape that looked wrong, a shape that felt like danger. 30 seconds passed. The third wave came. It came from the side. It came from the top. It hit the station like a hand that was trying to squeeze the station until it broke. The shields held. The center of the station did not break, and the people inside the station knew that they were alive because of a creature that thought in a way that was different. A creature that felt things that machines could not feel. A creature that was not Krell. But then something bad happened. Something that no one had planned for. The main power system began to fail. The power system was old. The power system had been working for many years. The solar flare had hit the power system in a way that hurt it very badly. The backup power system tried to start. The backup power system tried to give power to the shields. But something was wrong. The backup power was not lined up correctly. The power was trying to move through a path that was broken, like trying to move water through a pipe that had holes in it. The water comes out of the holes instead of going where it should go. Commander Min Seok looked at the numbers. "We are losing power," he said. His voice was scared now. "The shields will fail in 60 seconds. The fourth wave is coming. If the shields fail before the fourth wave hits us, we will all die." Everyone looked at Cumin. But Cumin was very tired. Cumin was sitting on the floor. Cumin's eyes were starting to close. "I cannot feel the fourth wave anymore," said Cumin. His voice was very quiet. "I am too tired. I cannot help you now." The room became very quiet. Captain Teo looked at the main power system. He looked at the numbers showing the power moving through the wrong path. He looked at the clock showing how much time was left. 45 seconds. "Is there any manual way to fix this?" asked Captain Teo. "There is an override system," said Haina, "but it is in the main power room. The main power room is not protected by the shields. The main power room is in the part of the station that will be hit by the solar flare if the shields fail." "Someone has to go there," said Captain Teo. "Someone has to fix the power system before the shields fail." "No one can get there in time," said Commander Minseok. "No one can move that fast. It takes 90 seconds to reach the main power room from here. We only have 30 seconds left before the shields fail." Cumin opened his eyes. The creature stood up. The creature's skin was very pale now. The creature looked like it was ready to fall down and never wake up. But the creature was standing. The creature was moving toward the door that led to the main power room. "The creature cannot survive without shields," said Haina. "The solar flare will kill it." "I know," said Cumin, "but I can feel something. I can feel one more time. I can feel how the power wants to move. I can show your machines how to let the power move the way it wants to move." The creature began to run. The creature was fast. The creature was so tired that it should not have been able to run, but the creature was running anyway. 20 seconds. The creature reached the main power room. 15 seconds. The creature put its hands on the power system. The creature did not use any tools. The creature did not push any buttons. The creature just put its hands on the machine. The creature closed its eyes, and the creature felt. The creature felt how the power wanted to move. The creature felt how the pipes were broken. The creature felt the path that would let the power move, even though the pipes were broken. The creature moved wires. The creature moved connections. The creature made the power move through a path that was not supposed to work. 5 seconds. The power started moving. The shields started getting power again. The shields became strong again. The fourth wave arrived. The station shook, but the shields held. The station was safe, and in the main power room, Q-Min fell to the ground. The creature did not move again for a very long time. When the solar flare was over, the station was quiet. The alarms had stopped singing. The lights were no longer red. The danger had passed. But Q-Min was still on the floor in the main power room. The engineers found him there. The creature was not moving. The creature was not breathing in a way that looked normal. The creature's skin was even more pale. The creature looked like something that was between alive and not alive. They brought him to the medical room. The medical room was where sick people got better. The medical room had machines that could see inside bodies. The medical room had doctors who knew how to fix broken things. One of the doctors was a woman named Ji-Wan. Wait, no. Ji-Wan was not a doctor. Ji-Wan was a scientist who studied how living things worked. But there was a doctor in the medical room, a doctor named Hai-Na. Wait, no. Hai-Na was the person who understood stars and space. Actually, the doctor who looked at Q-Min was named Eun-Jong. Eun-Jong had studied how to fix broken bodies for many years. Eun-Jong had fixed many Krell bodies, but Eun-Jong had never fixed a human body before. "I do not know what to do," said Eun-Jong. "This creature is different. The way this creature's body works is different from how our bodies work. I can see that the creature is hurt. I can see that the creature is very tired, but I do not know how to fix it." Ji-Won came to the medical room. Ji-Won looked at Q-Min. Q-Min's eyes were closed. Q-Min's body was very still. "He risked his life," said Ji-Won. "He risked his life to save us all." "Yes," said Eun-Jong. "But I still do not know how to help him." For 3 days, Q-Min did not wake up. For 3 days, the creature slept a sleep that looked like it might never end. For 3 days, the people of the station wondered if they had lost the being who had saved them. But on the 4th day, Q-Min opened his eyes. The creature looked at the ceiling of the medical room. The creature looked like it did not know where it was. "Water," said Q-Min. His voice was very quiet. "I need water." They gave Q-Min water. The creature drank the water very fast. The creature drank like it was the first water the creature had ever tasted. Then Q-Min drank more water, and more water, and more water. After many hours of resting and drinking water, Q-Min could move again. Q-Min could sit up. Q-Min could speak with a voice that was louder. Captain Teo came to see him. Captain Teo did something that no Krell captain had done in the history of the Krell people. Captain Teo offered his appendage to Q-Min in a way that meant respect, in a way that meant gratitude, in a way that meant understanding that the creature had done something great. "You saved my people," said Captain Teo. "You saved the station. You saved 300 lives. We owe you a debt that we cannot pay." "You can pay it," said Q-Min. "You can pay it by learning from what happened." "What do you mean?" asked Captain Teo. "You learned that there are ways of thinking besides your own way," said Q-Min. "You learned that feeling can be as important as calculating. You learned that sometimes the rules must be broken to survive." You learned that another species can see things that your machines cannot see. This is what you must remember. This is how you must change. Captain Teo was quiet for a long time. We have been alone for so long, said Captain Teo. We have been the smartest. We have been the best. We have not needed help from anyone else. Learning that we need help is not easy. Learning is never easy, said Cumin, but it is always worth doing. Days passed. Then weeks passed. The station began to work again. The broken parts were fixed. The shields were made strong again. The people returned to their normal lives. But something was different now. The engineers would look at the power system. They would see it was broken. They would try to fix it with machines and calculations. And when the machines did not work, they would try again. They would try in a way that did not follow the rules. They would try in a way that felt strange. And sometimes the strange way would work. The scientists would look at problems. They would use their machines to find answers. And when the machines did not find answers, they would listen to Q-Min. They would listen to his feelings. They would listen to his sense of how things worked. And they would learn. Jiwan spent many hours talking with Q-Min. She asked many questions about humans. She asked how humans thought. She asked why humans could feel things that Krell machines could not feel. Your people built machines to help you understand the world, said Q-Min. My people built ourselves to understand the world. We did not have machines, so we learned to feel. We learned to listen. We learned to see with more than just our eyes. But we have to have machines, said Jiwan. Without machines, how would we know anything? You would know by being alive, said Q-Min. You would know by moving through the world. You would know by feeling how the world moves through you. Your machines are good, but your machines are also walls. Your machines keep you from touching the real world. They let you see the world, but not feel it. Jiwan thought about this for a very long time. One day, Jiwan made a choice. She went to a place where there were no machines. She closed her eyes. She felt the gravity of the space station. She felt how the air was moving. She felt her own body moving through the space. And for the first time in her life, Jiwan understood something without using a machine. It was a very small thing. It was nothing important, but it was real. When Jiwan opened her eyes again, her skin was a color that meant wonder. It meant discovery. It meant understanding something new. And she knew that everything had changed. The Krell would never be the same. The station would never be the same. Because a creature had come from very far away and showed them that there was more to knowing than just calculating. There was feeling. There was being. There was living in a way that connected to the universe instead of just observing it from far away. And this knowledge would change everything about how the Krell saw themselves and their place in the world. For all the years to come, the Krell would remember the creature who came from Earth, the creature who saved their lives, the creature who showed them that they did not have to be alone, and they would be grateful, forever grateful, for a human named Q-Min.